Well, welcome to Gold Fever Adventures. I'm Jack Tucker. I am up here in the Lost Basin area. I'm going to be doing me a little bit of metal detecting. Now, I got that brand new Gold Monster 2000, and I'm going to put it to the test. Is it really any good? Is it worth $2,000? Well, only you're going to make that determination, but I'll give you some pros and cons behind it, and well, we're just going to swing this for a while. I am in a known nugget patch where I have pulled hundreds of nuggets off of this area. I basically use the Minelab 6000, and it'll pick up the smallest little things. Now, I've been seeing other people's videos behind using this machine, and I disagree with some of their well, what they're showing you, I guess, but I'm going to show you some of that. We're going to put this to the test. So let me swing this here, and let's see if we can find some gold. But first, I'll go over some of the features with you. Some people's asked, what's really the difference between the old one, the 1000, there's my 6000 I use, and even the Equinox. This is the 900 that some people use for gold. Let's talk about some of the differences in these machines. Now, I know some people do use these Equinoxes, 800 and 900, and it will find gold. I mean, I got a friend that uses it, and he swears by it. It'll find the smallest piece of gold. But the thing of it is, this is a multi-frequency machine. It goes up to 40 kilohertz. That's as high as it goes. And we'll talk about that there in a little bit. But this is an okay machine for gold. It's more of a all-around machine, multi-frequency. So I like to use this basically if I'm hunting for artifacts or treasures or stuff like that, but not for gold. Now, really, my go-to gold machine is the GPX 6000. It has found me a lot of gold, and I find it so amazing. It'll pick up the smallest, dinkiest little pieces of wires and stuff like that. It's very sensitive. It's also very sensitive to EMI. That's probably one of its most downfalls, is sometimes it just gets too chattery around areas that it's hard to hunt in. But it is a great machine, and it has found me a lot of gold. And yes, it's a PI, which means pulse induction, and it will punch through the minerals in the ground. That's why it'll find that gold. So this is a good machine. Basically, this is my go-to machine when I'm out nugget hunting. Now, the Gold Monster 1000. This was a pretty good machine. A lot of people use it. I still use this to help, pinpoint, or to if I'm in really shallow bedrock areas and tight little spots. This is an excellent machine to get into. It is a VLF, and it will pick up every single hot rock in the area. Now, one of the downfalls of something like this here, well, let me just see if I turn this on, see if we get, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Let this go on here. Okay, I've got this in full auto, non-discrimination. But when you're hunting with this machine, you can hear it. It's picking up everything. There's a target there. It's telling me it's iron. It's probably a hot rock. I see, now there's one right there. That's kind of bouncing back and forth from gold. So normally I would dig that target right there. If I take this down, let's take this off of auto. It's still there, kind of bouncing around. If I take it off discrimination, it's picking that up still. That's a diggable target right there. So it's mostly in the gold range. I'm going to have to mark that to dig that up there. Okay, so that's basically the Gold Monster 1000. One of the downfalls that the Gold Monster has is when you set it down, a lot of times they tip over on you. So people are putting these aftermarket stands on them because of that. And it comes in a 3-piece shaft. This here is a collapsible shaft, which I put on. I did not like that 3-piece shaft because it's a bitch to take it down and put it away. So the Gold Monster 2000, $2,000. Have you ever wondered why Minelab does that there? I think they do that on purpose. Clear back from the old days, the SD $2,100, $2,100, the 35 was $3,500, $6,000, $6,000. Well, anyway, I guess that they do that on purpose. But this is the 2000. Now, really the difference between this one does have a bigger screen on it and a bigger control box than the 1000. But let me show you some of the differences on this one here. It does have the same stand, so I guess it's going to fall over. It's just got the 5-inch coral on it. There is plans to maybe make a larger one here in the future, but not right now. So this one here is, well, let me turn this on here, show you this here. Okay, so here you've got, same thing, you've got your Auto 2, Auto 1 manual. This here is going to be your different ground conditions, highly mineralized ground all the way down. That's your speaker, of course, and that's echo, what they call echo. That's going to be sound, so you got sound. You've got your numbering system, and you got your bar up there. So you got 3 ways of telling if that's gold or not. Now, I like to hunt where you come this here down in the first one right there. That's basically where I like to hunt at. Let me go back over this target over here. Now it's got a wobble to it. See, now it's showing me it's a number 2. That's good for gold. It's kind of, the bar is in the gold range. I don't like that wobble though. Let me retrieve this target. Oh. No. It's a little piece of wire. Little piece of wire. Little piece of wire is what that was. Now I'm going to be hunting in this area right here. And I found quite a bit of gold right here. This is, you can see the caliche. So what I'm going to surmise is, for some reason, these old timers, they knew there was gold on the underground here, and they scraped this down, and that's the piles you see down there. So they pushed this all the way down. They hunted on the caliche layer. And most all the gold I have found up through here is attached to the caliche and right down on this caliche layer. So this is where I'm going to be swinging over right down through here, and we'll see what we can maybe find. Well, let's see what happens. Now, if you find that you're in an area and you can't hunt because it's too chattery, then you may have to start turning your sensitivity down, your gain or sensitivity down. Keep in mind, the more you turn it down, the more you're going to lose those shallow targets. Now, this being a multi-frequency machine, one thing this does have, this does go up to 75 kilohertz. So, still picking up a lot of hot rocks. The ideal, people will disagree, but I think the ideal range for gold is like around 45 kilohertz. Some say it's 46, some say it's 47, but right there, I say it's 45 kilohertz. Gold Monster 1000 is 45 kilohertz. So this here going up to 75 will be good for smaller targets closer to the surface. And I think it goes down to 12 kilohertz. Well, that'll be good for larger targets deeper down. So that's basically the difference in the machines. So this going up to 75 is pretty good. and going down to 12 is pretty good also. So the frequency range on this is pretty good, better than your other multi-frequency machines. I'm still picking up a lot of hot rocks. And that's one of the reasons I've stayed away from these VLFs, because they do pick up hot rocks. I know a lot of people like to hunt with the smaller 5-inch coral on there. I think that's good for smaller washes, and of course the smaller coral will be better for surface gold, smaller stuff, where a larger one is more for depth. But I think the 10-inch for covering more ground. I like to hunt with the 10-inch. Seems like more of the gold I've found has been with the 10-inch rather than the smaller one. I think with all this rain we've had up here lately, it would wash in new stuff or expose new stuff. So that being the case, so we know when you get a lot of rains, it's washing off the banks. So if you're going to hunt in a wash that's been real worked out, probably hunt closer to the banks, as that gold is being cut off the banks. If there's anything in the banks and it's being pushed down, it'll be closer to the banks actually before it makes it out towards the middle of the wash. So tend to hunt towards the closer to the banks themselves after large rainstorms, floods. So here's a little river where it's been cut away, ate away in this wash right here. So anything that was up in here in this bank would be carried right close by. Now, I'm kind of used to digging, I know other people are too, where you dig everything. Now, sometimes you can find a piece of gold that's attached to iron, and if you don't dig it, you'll walk over it. But one thing I do not like, cherry pickers, they'll come through and they'll just pick up all the gold and they'll leave all the trash. And then others, like me, we got to go over and dig up all that trash, get it out of the way. What I do want to show you something here. Set this down here. I've got a little test nugget here. It is picking that up. I mean, you've got to be right on top of it though. Right on top of that to pick that up. Now you see some people, they'll grab dirt in their hands and they'll go over the coral. That's picking the salts up in my hands. People grab the dirt and then they go like this here. Oh, I got a piece of, I don't know. These are supposed to be people that know this. That's the salts in my hands. So if you got gold, that's picking up this little dinky piece of gold. It's a nice big flake, small little picker, but you can't do that. You got to have a scoop. Now they do give you 2 batteries with the your Gold Monster 2. I'm not sure if the Gold Monster 1000 batteries will work in it or not. Haven't tried that, but they do give you 2 batteries. Of course, the headphones, like I said, I couldn't get them to work. I didn't find anything. What I'm going to do now is go back over this area with the 6000, the true and trusted machine. So I'm going to swing my 6000 for a while and see if I can find anything. But anyways, all in all, I think the Gold Monster 2000, I think it's a promising machine. If it's worth $2,000, that's just something you guys are going to have to determine and decide that. I do think it's a lot better than the 1000 by far. And I think it's also probably better than your Equinoxes and Manticore. Now, I think the best thing the Manticore has for it is that 2D bar screen on it. But, other than that, it's the same machine really as the Equinox. And this machine here that has a lot of that, I'm sure you can use this in the beaches and treasure hunting as well, the Gold Monster 2. So it might be the all-around machine, and who knows? That's up to you guys. That's what I just found. It's a 6000, this little piece of iron, probably part of a tin can. Another piece of tin. There's a pellet. I for sure thought we had me a piece of gold, that one. That was down about 4 inches, 3-4 inches down. But just a part of a bullet casing. I was down 3 or 4 inches. PIs will still pick up a hot rock. This is down 4 or 5 inches. It's awful heavy, but it's just an iron rock, just iron. Think there's any gold in it? No, there's just a piece of lead. Just a piece of lead. Out of curiosity, this is that hot rock that I picked up with the 6000. Let's see what that Gold Monster 2 does. It's picking it up. It's all in the iron range. Kind of got a grunt to it too. Grunt means iron. If you take off your echo, kind of sounds the same. If you put this in all automatic, they all pick it up. If you took that down to about 6, let's put it in highly mineralized ground. No matter what you hunting in, it's going to pick it up. Yeah.
With the sun shining down, I roam the hills.
Well, so I just marked 2 faint targets that I got with the 6000. So now I'm going to run them over with the 2000 to see if it can tell me any more information. If I can find him again. Here's one of them. Okay. Might be picking up something there. It's telling me it's iron though. Get it out of the scoop here. It is very faint. Okay, and I think what it is, yep, it's a big piece of iron. It's black sand, so it's either magnetite, more than likely it's a big piece of magnetite. That's what it's picking up, a big hunk of it. Okay, so that's not it. Right here. Okay. It's picking it up good. Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is. Another one of those black rocks. Keep in mind that the Gold Monster 2000 is not a quick fix of finding gold. It's just the latest of the technology. I mean, it is a good machine, but it's not a guaranteed gold machine. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to get any gold today. It's starting to warm up and starting to get a little windy. The Gold Monster 2, it's got promising. The only thing I wish that 6000 would have the screen on it, kind of the same thing, you know, like the Gold Monsters do, the ferrous and non-ferrous and even the numbers. And I'll tell you what, I'll bet you they're going to come out with the 6500 and it will have that on there. There is another machine similar to that out on the market that does do all of that, a VLF kind of PI machine. That's Algo Force. I have used that machine, tested it. That machine might be promising. It sounds, I put that up against my 6000 and it seemed like some of the targets were louder with that, but there's more of a little learning curve on that Algo Force. But the Gold Monster seems to be an okay machine. I think it will replace the 1000. It is a better machine over the 1000, that is for sure. And it is a multi-frequency, and so it's got some good features. A couple things I didn't like about it. No headphones or wireless headphones, and the stand's the same where it just keeps tipping over. But other than that, I think it's pretty well a good machine. But anyways, I'm going to head back to the home front now. So I want to thank you guys coming along, sharing on these adventures. Hey, please like, share, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I sure appreciate it, guys. So until our paths cross again, you guys all take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Truck, it's time to roll with hearts so wild and a common goal, chasing the goal. We're ready for the thrill. Through mountains and rivers, we'll climb every hill. With the sun on our backs, we take our stand, uncovering treasures buried in this land. This gold fever's got us running wild in the heart of the land. We feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams, never alone. With metal detectors singing in the breeze, we dig for the fortune, uncovering keys. With a gold pan in hand, we sift through the dirt. Each little glimmer makes our hearts surge. By the firelight's glow, while laughter rings, as we dream of the riches tomorrow brings. Gold fever's got us running wild.
The gold mine.
I got you. We feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams.
Oh, ain't that cool? Is this like the I was going to say something bad.
Wait a
That'll
minute.
work.
Is that better?
There you go, that's good.
Our laughter rings as we dream of the riches tomorrow brings. This gold fever's got us running wild in the heart of the land. We feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams, never alone. So here's to the nights beneath the stars. With our hearts full of dreams, we'll go far. This gold fever's got us running wild in the heart of the land. We feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams, never alone. Never alone. So here's to the nights beneath the stars. With our hearts full of dreams, we'll go far.